Ladies and gentlemen, it is Jersey night on Point Discussion exclusively on the Lounge Room Network, Monday, August 16th, 2021. As you can see, the three of us are repping our beloved respective teams' jerseys tonight. Yours truly, Roquan Smith. It looks like Wyatt is repping a Khalil Mack jersey, and Julius, our good friend Julius down in the great state of Texas, is going with a Calvin Johnson Detroit Lions jersey. What is going on, everyone? Wyatt and Julius here at the Cornelia 7 at the fifth top, respectively. Juan at Lounge Room Press 1, coming to you all again on this beautiful and fine Monday afternoon. Just got done grilling some brats on this National Bratwurst Day. Also had some burgers on the grill, hence the half-hour late start because yours truly was out there picking everything up. How was your weekend, guys? I'm very interested to know because first weekend of preseason football. I shared my entire weekend with everyone on Twitter and on social media. Everyone knows what I was up to. What were you guys doing? How was your weekend, man? What's going on?
I went to a funeral. I think it was like 3 weeks back. I posted on Twitter about my friend passing away with his wife and he has 2 kids. I went to a funeral, and weekend is busy. It's always busy when you have a kid, a newborn, but not a newborn now. He's 9 months. But I also did get a chance to watch some preseason games recorded on. This is the most preseason games I've probably ever watched in 38 years of living on this earth. So my weekend was pretty good, and I also live vicariously through Juan because he does a lot of fun things on the weekend, and I'm like, I wish I was Juan right now, or Juan.
Yes, yeah, I was at Soldier Field this weekend. Shout out to the great people down in Chicago for taking care of me down there and for helping me get to Soldier Field after such a very long time of not being able to go. I also will admit that I was riding the L trains for the first time this weekend. I rode the red line, I believe the orange line, if I'm not mistaken. Let it just be known that the red line is horrendously gross. I actually, believe it or not, and you can ask the guys I was with, I put on a mask for the first time in a very long time, outside of my normal business of work. I wore a mask on the red line because it was horrendously disgusting. I also wore a mask, I believe it was the orange line or the blue line, if I recall, because it's just gross. A lot of people, it was packed, sardines. I was like, nope, I'm going to put on my mask. I had to do it. It was bad. Anyway, Julius, how are you doing? Our beloved Lonely Lions fan today. How are you, sir?
I am doing quite well, my good friend Juan. It was a great. Hey, I'm also pretty envious of your unchained travel life experiences. But guess what? Once upon a time, I used to do the same type of stuff. So, hey, enjoy it, bro. Enjoy it. But other than that, my weekend was fun until I tweeted a certain tweet about Justin Fields and Jordan Love. Then all Bedlam broke loose in my mentions. So other than that, great weekend.
And it's funny you bring that up because it's my understanding that you have a very special message for our teddy bear fandom, our Bears, our Chicago Bears Twitter fans. What would you like to say to Bears Twitter right now, live on Point Discussion?
Wait, let me record
it. This is on the record. On the record, Julius is going to go off. Let's hear it.
Listen, I have come very accustomed to Bears Twitter in the last couple years. Thanks to you, my good friends Juan and Wyatt here. I've got a lot of Bears followers, more so than any other team by far, right? So on Friday night, I wasn't even attacked really, but Panay Sewell
on Friday night,
first round.
Hang on. On Friday night, after the Lions took an
L to the Bills in the preseason, which doesn't matter at all. I wasn't sad in any way. There was no
Trubisky continues to be our father.
Mitch Trubisky did not play well at all. He's no longer our father. He is not even a starting quarterback in the NFL. That's neither here nor there. Panay Sewell was called a bust at the end of this game on Twitter by a bunch of Packer and Bear fans. I'm not going to name them. It was only a few, but it did make me a little salty, because people were saying that the Lions should have, we missed out on Fields. We should have got Sewell. Okay. When I hear that, I get salty. Okay. This is just any Lions fan that hears that gets salty. Okay. And I am not a Bears fan. I am a Lions fan. I'm a lifelong Detroiter. I don't like the Bears one bit. But listen, I respect y'all fan base. Y'all got a very passionate fan base. Until I wrote a tweet saying that I hope Justin Fields and Jordan Love both play like garbage. And that's pretty much all I wrote. In defense of Penei Sewell being attacked and called a bust and us missing out on Justin Fields. I was salty. I wrote a salty reply of a tweet the next morning. Bears Twitter, I love y'all, man. There's no hard feelings. Don't got to jump in my DMs trying to, start gang fights with me from Chicago to Detroit down to Texas. It ain't going to happen, man. You don't want none of this. I respect y'all fan base, man. Really, I do. I wrote that tweet. I was salty. Don't be sad. Justin Fields, I don't know. He might work out. He might not. As a Lions fan, it's not in my responsibility to worry about that. So when I throw salty tweets up on Twitter like that, just laugh about it. It's funny. I'm a funny guy. But hey, it's all love though. Really, don't go in my DMs threatening me on some real serious stuff. It's just sports, man. We having fun. This is a hobby, man. We talk about our teams on Twitter. We talk trash to each other. At the end of the day, we're good friends. So shout out to Bears Twitter. That's all I got to say.
I will just jump in here real quick because let it just be known that I was very salty this morning when I got a text message from Julius. Well, Wyatt and I both got the text message because we're in a group chat, and I have my guy Julius telling us that that he's got Bears fans, coming for his neck basically on Twitter via DM. So let it just be known that if you are reaching out to Julius or anyone threatening to beat them up at the corner of 116th Street and Pulaski down on this very south end of the city of Chicago, you got to reevaluate yourself, man. That's stupid. It's
First
clownish.
of all, you're not going to catch me on 116th Street in Pulaski, not a day in my life. If I come to Chicago, I'm coming to Soldier Field, and it's all love. Stay on my DMs. You might be able to catch me down in Texas on the open plains where the Second Amendment is strong, or you might catch me on the east side of Detroit where the Second Amendment is also strong. So, hey, it really don't matter.
Even if never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Catch Julius down in Texas, waving a lasso around, trying to rope you in.
Yeah. I'm not a cowboy though. I'm not a cowboy. I'm a lion. All right, I'm a lion.
I think it's Brady _Schmidt _ sick Roquan jersey. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Like I said, Wyatt's also wearing a Khalil Mack jersey. You can't see his numbers though, but there it is. It is a Khalil Mack jersey. So with that being said, on point discussion. Thank you for getting that message out of the way, Julius. Of course, we appreciate you. We love you here, and we hope you never get beat up on the south side of Chicago, down at 116th Street or whatever it is, down very far end of the city. So. Let's go ahead and dive right into Afghanistan. Unfortunately, Afghanistan right now is not in the best of shape. President Biden today addressed the nation at approximately 2:45 Central Time, 3:45 Eastern, if I'm getting my time zones correct here, my time. Guys, it was quite a speech. President Biden did not hold back in any way, shape, or form. Luckily for you, I have lots of quotes, lots of notes here. I'm gonna say this. This was a very forceful speech by President Biden. Regardless of what we say about him, Sleepy Joe, put all the names out there that you want. It was a forceful speech in the sense that he basically said, suck it up. We're leaving Afghanistan. I don't care what anyone says. We're done. That's the message that I was getting. Now, I know Wyatt pointed out earlier this afternoon that there was, blame game being played with President Biden basically saying that, it was President Trump did a whole bunch of stuff, and his original policy had been to withdraw from Afghanistan. I believe it was in May, of this year. So it would have been about 2 months back, 3 months back, that we would have been out of Afghanistan if it was still under the Trump plan of withdrawal, right? President Biden made a whole bunch of points here, and I want to read some of them out. He said American troops should not be fighting or dying in a war that they, and by they the Afghans, the Afghans won't fight in themselves, right? Gave them every chance to protect their future, and the Afghans are not taking advantage of that, right? It's wrong to get American troops to stand for a war again that Afghan troops won't stand for. How many more rows of headstones at Arlington, National Cemetery do we need? I mean, it just goes on and on, right? Right now, 6,000. I believe that they're trying to get 6,000, or they're bringing in 6,000 additional troops to help evacuate American, Americans and Afghan, our Afghan friends who are fighting alongside the U.S. troops and whatnot. So this is just a full out scale of we're getting the hell out right now. Like, they're not leaving anything behind. They're grabbing their people. They're leaving Afghanistan, and that's the end of it. Whatever happens. I don't know. I'm going to be very sincere with you both. Okay. I know we've been in Afghanistan for the past 20 years. I get that. At some point, the United States needs to leave Afghanistan. Right? Now, where do we say enough is enough? We're not going to get anywhere in this fight that we've been dragging on for 4 administrations now? Where do we draw that line? Right? Now, Julius, I know you were in Afghanistan. I can't begin to imagine the things that you went through, the things that you saw out in that part of the world. But what I would like to do, however, is I would like to get your background into this, right? Into Afghanistan. What just help shed some light into this very, very complicated, complex, truly unfortunate conflict that we have been involved in for the past 20 years.
Well, yeah, I spent close to 15 months of my life in Afghanistan from 2010 into 2011. And this is hard to watch. It really is. It's hard to watch. If you were there and you knew you met a lot of I have made a lot of friends in Afghanistan, Afghanis,
Mm-hmm.
Citizens, soldiers, goat herders, just normal people who just want to live a happy life just like the rest of the world does. And the goal was always to eliminate terrorism in Afghanistan, but the goal was also to help liberate the Afghani people from the Taliban, which is one of the most ruthless and evil regimes known to man in the history of mankind. They are religious extremists, and it's just, you don't want the country in their hands. You just don't. So it's very hard to watch this from like a human nature standpoint, and me being over there and knowing these people and the refugee crisis that's going to unfold. It's going to be massive. I think about that. Another thing I think about is the sacrifices that the American people and my brothers and sisters in arms made over there, to the tune of, I don't know how many thousands of lives and minds lost, not just death. You come back and a lot of people continue to deal with it, and they might even lose themselves eventually on that road. if they didn't lose themselves over there, to the enemy. And so it's just so much that goes with this. It's very heavy. It's a heavy burden on America. It's a heavy burden on Afghanistan, and it's a heavy burden on the world. And honestly, Joe Biden, okay, if Jared Goff and if the Lions are 0-6 by week 7, and Jared Goff starts blaming Matthew Stafford for the problems the Lions have this season, we're gonna run him out of town, okay? Because that's not what a leader does in any profession anywhere in the world. You do not blame the person who came before you, whose job you took. Okay? The reason they're no longer president is because of their missteps and their mishaps. So once you became president, Joe Biden, all that was inherited to you. Okay? So it is your duty as commander in chief to execute this mission to end in the correct fashion. And he failed miserably. He failed miserably all the way up to today, when he was too much of a coward to take questions at the end of the press conference. When so many, like I just said, the amount of loss this country has taken from this conflict. Don't we deserve that? As citizens, as a soldier, don't we deserve for you to be brave in our face and tell us the truth? At least take a question from a reporter, see what people want to know stuff, man. I'm very upset about the whole situation, honestly, and my heart and prayers go out to the Afghani people, and it goes out to everybody else that's been affected by this conflict and by this tragedy that's unfolding right now in Afghanistan. It's very hard and very tough to watch. I hope that something changes that benefits everybody on both sides.
I think it's right now they're trying to do 2,000 Afghanis to the United States. I think that's the number I heard Joe Biden this afternoon say, right, was that they wanted to bring over approximately 2,000 individuals from that country. Here in Wisconsin, actually, here in the state of Wisconsin right now, I think it's Fort McCoy, which is up by this town of, I believe it's Toma, Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. If anyone in the comments wants to correct me on that, if I'm wrong, please do so. But I believe it is over by Toma, and they are expected to receive refugees from Afghanistan. Now, this will be the first time that Fort McCoy here in Wisconsin, if this goes through, this is going to be the first time that they receive refugees since 1980, when Cubans were leaving Cuba in mass numbers after, due to Fidel Castro and his political regime down on the island of Cuba. So once all U.S. personnel leaves, the war's over. The Afghanistan war, the conflict is done, right? How quick the Taliban is going to go in and take over the country of Afghanistan, it's going to be very swift, I think. I don't expect it to be a very difficult fight, right? I mean, again, please correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but it's going to be swift, it's going to be gruesome, and it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Would you? I ask this, and obviously I want a sincere answer. But did we lose this war? Did the United States lose?
You know how hard that is, a question to ask me.
Yes, I know it's a very difficult.
It's a real question. I mean, I appreciate you asking me that, Juan.
It is.
You put me on the spot, and
it
needs to be answered. It needs to be answered.
Well, no, yes, but it's why obviously why can obviously I don't want you to think that this is just
no. I'm gonna answer the question. It's a question I want to answer. Our goal in the war, from a military standpoint, was to eliminate the terrorist cells that were being harbored in Afghanistan for so long. Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, They had headquarters there. That's where they launched the 9/11 missions from.
Right. Right.
So our goal is to go over there and eliminate that threat and liberate and help the democracy, the young democracy that is the Republic of Afghanistan. From that standpoint, we lost. We lost. The country is lost to the Taliban again, like 2001. Even worse than 2001, really. There's not even a shadow government democracy going on right now. The Taliban got full control over the country and the people. So from that standpoint, we lost. And I just hope that the things that we were over there doing made a difference. As far as eliminating terrorism and helping people. But the country belongs to the Taliban, so America did not win. The same as it was in the Vietnam War when Americans left and North Vietnam took over the country, the communist regime. We lost the Vietnam War as well. So,
it's a very interesting thing that you bring up Vietnam, because I think once, obviously my background, right? I'm a historian by trade, right? We look back at the Vietnam War and we look at what happened, and the United States was involved in Vietnam since like the era of John F. Kennedy, when he sent advisors, right, to go over to Vietnam, which obviously we all know advisors is a very fluid term, right? They were really Marines who had gone over to Vietnam in I believe it was like 1960, if I'm not mistaken. That Vietnam is looked back as, basically just a big back and forth that just, you just saw the parallel line. It was North Korea and South Korea 2.0, right? Stalemates. I mean, that's really what we get from Vietnam and from studying that part of history. As a historian, looking back on the Afghanistan war, this conflict, I think it's going to be more complex to look at. I think it's going to be more difficult because we don't know. We have yet to know what kind of resistance is going to be put up against the Taliban. Probably nothing, right? But I think it's still way too soon to know. We're probably not going to know for a couple months, really. I mean, this whole thing is going to it's either going to collapse, we're going to see some resistance, or it's over. It's just not. I don't know. It's just such a fascinating thing. Fascinating and obviously not a good way. Like, I'm so excited. Just the way that this whole thing has just exploded in the past few days, right? And how quick everything has happened. I mean, you had President Biden vacationing, right? And then next thing you know, like this morning, they announced that, he's coming back now because he has to give a press conference because the situation over there is dire, right? And then I agree with you with what you were saying about how he didn't take any questions at that that presser he did. He literally just went in there. He said, my predecessor did this, and this, and now I'm just going to do whatever, everything that I need to do. And he walked out. I mean, like, I don't
makes
know.
me angry, man.
I know. And, I could sit here and go on and on about this, right? I know that there's a wide audience of people who listen to this show, and I don't want to get too profanity laced, needless to say, but I just think that the way that this whole thing happened wasn't good. It really honestly wasn't. It's been very badly orchestrated. But why I want to get you in here because I know you've been sitting waiting for your turn, but the floor is yours.
It's disheartening, especially for those soldiers that spent years, months in Afghanistan to eradicate the Taliban and extreme terrorist groups like them. And there's like the Afghan people, the people that lived there, most of them were accepting and happy that the U.S. troops were there when they were there. And it's sad to see videos of them hanging onto the U.S. Air Force plane, and then some of them falling from the sky because they're desperate, because they know what the Taliban rule means. They're an extremist group. They're a terrorist group. There were 4 presidents, like you guys mentioned, that had their hand in the Afghan war. So you could put blame on each one for what they did, or you could give them, well, they did this or they did this during their presidency. So you can't just put strictly Biden saying it's his fault. But you're right, Juan. He went on. He just said this and this. Didn't take any questions. It's like hide and seek with him. Okay, well, he's hiding. Okay, he's going to pop up for a press conference and go back to hiding. But it's just disheartening, because you have this good the Afghan people. They're there. They're good. But then you have this extremist group that imposes their extreme law on these people and make them suffer. In 2017, the Taliban group reached out to Trump saying, hey, you need to let loose. And he ended up doing that with the Taliban, and he released 5,000 of their prisoners. My thing with that is you can't negotiate with these types of groups. You can't negotiate with these extreme terrorists or extreme groups. You can't give them any leeway. I know during the Trump administration, his funding for military he didn't have it. Like, if you needed something to, during the to eradicate the Taliban from Afghan or from the Middle East, there was no limit to his funding, and he pushed and helped eradicate a lot of those Taliban. But the thing is that once we start withdrawing troops, and you have the Afghan security with the right equipment, they have the right know-how to. They have basically the equipment that the U.S. troops gave them. But I don't know if they had that fight in them to fight the Taliban and stay there. They just, gave up and fled, and that's just something to look at. They're not like, Julius might be able to speak more to this, but they're not I don't know if they're more of like a fighting people. They're a peaceful people. You give them the equipment, but are they willing to stop this resistance, or are they willing to be like, you know what, we're just going to back off. We don't want anyone dying or whatever like that. So it's just sad. Like Brandon pointed out in the chat, it's just like the Vietnam War. You put our American troops, blood, sweat, and tears. It not just affects your American. They come back with PTSD. It does not just affect the soldiers, but it affects their family here as well, especially the ones that died. So it's just disheartening that so quickly the Taliban's back in power.
Oh man, I know so many people who have gone out and fought, in Afghanistan, and as someone who obviously hasn't fought, who has not served this country, who hasn't been in the armed forces. It's really, I almost feel like I don't want to say something that is gonna, like, with all due respect, Julius, I don't want to say something you're gonna be like, no, that's totally wrong, Juan. Like, don't say it. Don't say that, or no, Juan, you don't know what you're talking about. So so that's why I'm very kind of hesitant to continue to.
You know what, Juan? It's
ahead.
Interesting you say that, because I think that the U.S. military culture is so intertwined with the country as a whole, even the civilians like yourself, that y'all can speak through it too. Like I said in my what I said, we've all suffered because of this. The country as a whole. You may not feel it, you may not know it, you may not even think about it, but everybody's affected by this. So go ahead, man. I mean, I know you're a good guy, you know what I'm saying? You're not, there's some anti-military extremists out there, Antifa. You're not that guy. So
it's just, I know, and obviously I have told you guys, I know we have a lot of veterans here on the network, and I have expressed my sincerest appreciation to all of you for everything that you guys have done for our country as a whole. I think just sometimes it's like I have something in my mind that I want to say, and I'm like, no, I don't want to say that because then what if I say it the wrong way? But just the way in which this operation has happened, at the rate that it's happened, I don't think it was done right. I wish that they would have gotten all of our fellow Afghani, men, women, who were fighting alongside the U.S. If they would have gotten them out first. I think President Biden said something to the extent of that they were, they didn't want to do that because they would trigger the Taliban or something like that. I don't know if I heard that correctly or not, but I think that's the reasoning why.
So you're gonna leave them there.
I could have totally misheard that. That's what I'm saying. I thought that was why he had said that he didn't want to pull them out first. I could have misheard it, but I'm just saying what I thought I had heard. That's what I wish they would have done. They should have gotten all of the civilians out of the country who we already knew were working with us, and then pull out our men and women in uniform who have the more advanced capability of defending themselves with their arms and whatnot. But that's I'll leave it at that for now. Any final thoughts on this before we move on to our next topic? I know we took a little bit longer than we were planning, but
get our boys out of there. Okay, that's all I got to say. And that should be number one, uno. Get the Americans out of there, the American allies, and do the best you can with that massive refugee crisis that's coming. But if they would have started this 3 or 4 weeks ago, there's no way this would look the way it's looking right now.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, we can move on to a little bit more of a lighter topic here. I know that was triggering. I know some of the footage that I saw this morning. I know, Julius, I think you retweeted it too this morning. Just something that I never want to see. Absolutely, regardless of where it is, never want to see that. But let's talk about Jay Cutler. a little bit of a lighter topic here. Jay Cutler is getting canceled right now by Uber Eats because of his policy, his stance on masks. Who would have thought, right? Me, a little kid in like 07, I'm like 13, 14 years old, that one day when I was probably around Jay, Cuddy's age, that he would be getting canceled over a policy about wearing a health grade mask on your face. What are we doing? What are we doing here? It's just why? Jay Cutler, former quarterback for the Chicago Bears, had a reality TV show with his ex-wife. I think their divorce is over. It went through, I think. Now he's back on Twitter. He's spewing a whole bunch of stuff about how he wants to run for the school board, where he's at. How he basically said he doesn't agree with masks, and now he's getting canceled. Is this the continued perception or the continued vibe of society in the year 2021 with cancel culture in full effect? Are we just seeing another prime example of this? Wyatt, I'll let you go first.
I followed Jay Cutler on Instagram, and he started posting some data and how to not wear a mask and all that, or why not to wear a mask and stuff like that. I just read it, whether you're for mask wearing or you're for taking the COVID vaccine or not taking the COVID vaccine or not wearing masks, people have to realize that everyone has their own opinion. Not everyone's going to follow. If some people are religious about wearing their mask all the time, some people are like, I'm vaccinated, I don't want to wear it anymore, I don't need to wear it anymore. So it's stupid. I'm tired of this cancel culture stuff. We've had it go on for a long time since we went on lockdown last year, and it's ridiculous. You have to realize we're all individuals, we all have our own opinions. If Jay Cutler doesn't want to wear a mask and he's putting information out, you don't have to follow him. You don't have to cancel him. Just you disagree with him. That's it, right? But that's not That's not Twitter. That's not social media. Everybody wants to cancel somebody because they don't want to wear their mask or they don't want to take the vaccine. It's your choice. You have your own opinions. That's what makes America great, is that you have your own opinion and you have your own individual thought. But some people want to take everyone's individual thought away on Twitter or social media or whatever. So it's kind of annoying at this point just to see people's rants or, oh, I'm not Jay Cutler fan. Oh, I'm canceling him. Oh, you're an idiot. Like, it's his opinion. If you don't like it, block him. That's simple.
Oh, is that?
Oh, I'm done, man. I mean,
Classic Wyatt rant.
No. I was waiting. You kind of left me hanging a little bit, so I was like, okay, all right.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna keep. I thought
I was
you were
enjoying
gonna
it too.
keep ranting. I know. I thought you were just gonna keep going and go. You know,
I'm
punch
punching air.
Wyatt, punch air.
Classic Wyatt, man.
Classic. Go smoke up. Never mind. I was gonna say, go smoke a blunt to calm yourself down a little bit.
I don't smoke weed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm straight edge.
Julius was obviously drunk
dead,
because he's
dog.
dropping his
I'm
headphones
dead.
over there.
Don't smoke weed. I don't.
One.
Don't take any drug.
I'm dead.
Go ahead, Julius. Go ahead.
Whew. Okay, let me come back to life. All right. Jay Cutler canceled by Uber Eats because he's a Republican. That's what it seems like. It's not. I'm not surprised. This trend needs to reverse itself. We've been saying this for a couple years now. It kind of started in 2019 with the Me Too movement. Sexual assault, it's a serious thing. I understood. But it kind of branched off from that to everything else that a certain political side agrees with. And if they disagree with it, then you're likely to not be you're not in the club no more. You're not in the group. You're not cool. Actors, athletes, it really don't matter. If you go outside a certain left fork narrative, you are likely to lose your job. People have threatened me on social media to find my employer and let them know my political leanings on social media.
I do recall that actually.
Yeah.
I do remember that from like a year ago.
It's happened like 5 times.
Yeah.
It's happened like 5 times.
Yeah.
And every single time I reply with the Charlie Murphy laughing gif. Every single time. Because I'm not scared of that. Because I know that I'm not a bad person who's going to lose my job because of the way I see the world through a political lens. It's just that Hollywood and the mass media can do stuff like that, especially if you're a celebrity. They can shame you to the point of you losing your promos, your whatever deals you got with whatever company. They'll drop you, and it's just silly, and it's stupid, and it's wrong, and it shouldn't exist. It really shouldn't. I cannot wait till it does not exist. This trend has to reverse itself. Jay Cutler, he don't want his kid to wear a mask. You're gonna take his advertising from him with Uber Eats. Uber Eats, you're gonna drop this guy over that because he don't want his kid to wear a mask in school. This pandemic is not that. It hasn't been going on that long for everybody to think they experts and could tell other people how to think, and take money away from people. And it's just stupid. It's just stupid. I'm done with it. Cancel culture needs to go away. And I'm a roast you if you threaten me on Twitter about anything. I am going to roast you because you sound it's just hard to deal with that.
I need to close like Julius. Sorry.
I was gonna say, Jesus Christ! Like y'all are both punching here tonight. Jeez, like Wyatt, I think that's the first time you and Julius have done something similar on that end like that. I don't think I've ever seen it. I might be outnumbered tonight, guys. Oh my God. Yes, Jay Cutler, he's a man, he's a very vocal, he's a very vocal person. We've seen his personality on his reality TV shows that he has. This shouldn't be something that surprises us. I mean, we know how he is, we know how he gets. It's just that's just how he is. I mean, I don't know how else to put that. So he's a character. He is a character, and that I think that is something that, regardless of team affiliation, that we can all agree on here on the show tonight. So, with that being said, we're about 40 minutes into On Point discussion, and this is your reminder that OPD is powered by our friends over at One Call Technology, of course. And it is now time for sports, and the reason for which we are wearing our respective NFL jerseys tonight. But before we get into that, the Lions suck. And before we get into that, however, we did get a few pictures. This is the first time we've done this, actually. A few pictures about our beloved fellow NFL fans and an MLB fans, because we did open it up to MLB as well. We got pictures to share with you all. So I am once again going to get behind my technology expertise here, or at least the very little that I have, and I'm going to try and share a screen with you guys, because we're going to go through some pics. So with that being said, let's see what we've got here. So this gentleman here looks like he was at Soldier Field same day that I was this past Saturday, which is very nice to see, of course. That is awesome.
Figure out what jersey he's wearing.
I believe that might be a Khalil Mack jersey, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a Khalil Mack jersey. I mean,
it looks like it might be.
Yes.
I see a 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like a Khalil Mack jersey. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. Again, I'm trying to figure out how to work this, guys. Don't mind me, just kind of navigating on the live screen how to work a shared. For those of you who are not watching, or who are going to be watching this on, who are going to be listening to this actually and said, you know what? We're not doing this, guys. I can't do this.
It's okay. We tried.
I had it all set up, and the very last picture I was going to leave you guys with was this beautiful image of Soldier Field that I got, and as you can see, I failed miserably.
The advancement of live streaming technology. What a wonder!
I don't think I've ever felt this embarrassed, guys. This is quite sad. There we go. I figured it out. We got another one. This is my friend Levi out in Washington State. I believe that is the Mariners park, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So shout out to Levi, and I think that's his wife, if I'm not mistaken. So very nice to see as well. It's always nice to see a lot of these, the pictures that we get from, from the various sporting events that people go to, whether that is baseball or basketball. Eventually we'll get basketball back, right? But God, I'm really bummed out, guys. I really wanted to share the final pick of Soldier Field with you guys, and I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Oh.
Okay.
No, you know what?
You try it, Wyatt.
No.
You try it, Wyatt.
You know what? We're gonna make this happen. There it is. Beautiful Soldier Field.
That's a good spot.
Beautiful Soldier Field in all of its glory, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not at the top, though, right?
I am in the 300 level. So this is actually where my seats were, up in the 300 level.
So your back is the Lake Michigan?
No. This is facing towards the lake. So this picture here is facing towards the lake. And again, sincere apologies to the people who are listening, who will be listening on the audio file, right, on Spotify or Apple, who cannot see these beautiful pictures. But this is Soldier
12
Field.
Bear fans and
a
Dolphins fan.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that. I also know Brandon just dropped a comment that says it looks empty. I'm going to just say this right now. This is like 35 minutes, I think, before kickoff. So knock it off. Cut the crap.
You can hear the play calls, couldn't you?
Bears fans show up late first quarter.
Yes, that tends to be a pattern with Bears fans. We like to get there late.
That Chicagoland traffic price sucks.
Well, that, and then you know what it also is. It's also the fact that Chicago, like people in Chicago, would just run on very very odd we just like to take our time. All right, that's what it comes down to. So that's what it comes down to. Um,
The city of big shoulders.
yes. Now, as I get this last picture up, though, I do want to start by getting some reflection. There it is. There's the last picture we had tonight. My good friend Mike, Packer fan, and his wife, and I believe those are his daughters over there as well. So thank you, Mike, for sharing the picture with us tonight. He
Are they
is,
wearing White Sox jerseys? His daughters?
those are Brewers jerseys.
Okay.
We have they have white. They have white.
They have a
jerseys.
pinstripe jersey, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, with that being said, okay, thank you guys for all the pictures that we've got. Let's just really quickly
They were
recap.
great.
Yes, absolutely. And I look forward to seeing more. We want to see more pictures. Regular season, I know obviously once we get closer or more further in, I could show you guys tons of pictures from my experiences, but obviously that would get boring and I'm always posting them on social media. Anyway, send us your pictures every Monday after the Sunday slate of games. Send us those pics. If you're out there, regardless of teams, we want to see them. From the New England Patriots all the way out west to the San Francisco 49ers. We want to see your pictures. So send them all in. On Point Discussion main page. Our DMs are open, so just send those over, and we will get those up. Let's talk preseason football here for the next 14 minutes or so on the second part of On Point Discussion. Amazing performance. Justin Fields in the flesh on Saturday afternoon at Soldier Field in Chicago. It was a beautiful thing to see. A beautiful thing to see a competent quarterback on this team behind an already somewhat depleted O-line. It was a magical experience. That's all I can say. Now I also do want to clear something up right now. I want to clear the air on this because I know our fellow Packer fans 100 and some miles to my north also saw Jordan Love perform on Saturday night. Ultimately, they lost against the Texans, as did the Lions on Friday, and as did the Minnesota Vikings on Saturday. We're not even going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, though, because they lost bad. They got spanked. All right, it was like 33-6, if I'm not mistaken.
Who are they? Who's the Vikings?
Some purple team that.
Oh, the purple team in our division. Okay.
Yes, the purple ones. Yes, the Barney, the Walmart version of Barney.
The Skolars. The Yale
The
Skolars.
Skolars,
They're
yes.
from Scandinavia.
I was told that Jordan Love looked decent out there, that he looked good. I believe the rating that he got was 120, I think it is. I'm always really bad with these, but it was in the hundreds. It was. Justin Fields was also up in the hundreds. Okay, so obviously two quarterbacks that did very well. Trey Lance, I know, did excellent also out in San Francisco. The future is bright for this league, guys. I cannot reiterate that enough. All right? The future is bright. The quarterbacks are going to light it up. 110.4 QB rating. Thank you, Brandon. Yes, 110.4 QB rating for, I believe, for Jordan Love. Wyatt and Julius, I first week of preseason. I can go on and on again. I was there. I can give you guys, I could break every single thing down, but I'm not going to do that because we don't have the time. What did you guys see out of your respective teams? I know, Wyatt, obviously you're a Bears fan like me, but you can obviously provide your input. Julius, like you said at the beginning of the show, you said you were going at it all weekend, defending your team. What were some of the highs and what were some of the lows that you saw on your Detroit Lions team?
Actually, that game against the Bills on Friday was a pretty good game. I think the Lions, as a preseason squad with a vanilla playbook game plan, played well. What happened was we got to see a lot of our young guys and guys we didn't even know existed play. And we also got to see our starters for like a drive or two. By the way, the first drive was kind of ugly for the Lions offense. Jared Goff almost threw a pick on his first pass. On third down, Penei Sewell got knocked down by Greg Rousseau and sacked Jared Goff, who failed to step up into the pocket. However, the next drive with the starters, Jared Goff and led a pretty long drive that should have had a score. That should have scored a touchdown. They were close, but Jared Goff hit the receivers. We had a couple good runs. Our offensive line looked like they were in control. And so, as far as the starting offense, I liked what I saw. For the rest of the game with the backups, I hope Jared Goff doesn't get injured because as much crap as you might think that people talk about him, if we lose Jared Goff, the talent level at quarterback falls expeditionally, just like any other team. And Tim Boyle, as strong of an arm he has, the former Packer is still a backup quarterback. So hopefully Goff goes well because our receivers, we might have the worst receiver depth chart in the NFL. That's no secret. Our defense looked good. Okay, our defense looked pretty good. Our pass rush was strong. Julian Okwara, I know, listen to his name, remember his name. If he breaks out as a Pro Bowler on the Lions this year, don't be surprised. Derek Barnes, remember his name, rookie from Purdue. If he breaks out this year, don't be surprised. These guys are guys that's been impressing all throughout the offseason process, and now they Julian Okwara had like 10 quarterback pressures against the Bills by himself. It was pretty impressive. And our secondary held down. Jeff Okuda and those guys, the little bit they got to play. It's preseason. I don't care about wins and losses. I just hope that no starters get hurt and that our young guys show us something that we could take with us into the regular season. And I got both of those things from the Lions. No major injuries, and I saw good things out of a lot of good young players, including Penei Sewell, who gave up that aforementioned sack. He played well other than that sack. Other than that play, he held his own, and he really moved people around in the run game. So I'm happy as a Lions fan after week 1 of the preseason.
There was a play where I don't remember if it was Boyle who got shaken up a little bit, ankle.
Yeah, he got smacked. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
When that went down, I was watching. I'm like, oh crap, that's it. Because you never know. Again, it's preseason. You don't want any of your guys getting hurt. I mean, you really don't.
None of them.
And even on Saturday when I was in Chicago, I was watching for that. I said, if any of these guys go down, it's a significant loss, regardless of which player it is. I mean, especially if Justin Fields would have gotten hurt, that's it. It's over. I do want to make one other thing about my experience on Saturday, and then Wyatt, I'll pass it on to you. When the second that Nick Foles ran out there or throttled out there, Soldier Field booed this man so loud. I straight up thought we were playing Green Bay. I straight up thought that was Aaron Rodgers running out there because Soldier Field booed the living hell out of Nick Foles.
Justin Fields mania.
I actually genuinely felt a little bit bad. I did not boo. I just want the record to stand that I did not boo. I was there. I was a respectable a fan. But man, oh man, did Soldier Field boo the crap out of Nick Foles. Andy Dalton surprisingly got a fairly decent reception at Soldier Field. He was not booed to the extent that I actually thought he would have been. But Nick Foles got it. Nick Foles got all of it from Bears fans in Chicago. Wyatt, go ahead.
Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this was like probably the most preseason games. Like I didn't watch them all the way through, but I was interested to see Trevor Lawrence. I was interested to see Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. I wanted to see those quarterbacks that were drafted in front of Justin Fields. I wanted to see Mac Jones too. So I watched when they were playing. I also watched Jordan Love as well because I'm interested to see, well, how are the Packers going to fare without Aaron Rodgers? Because inevitably, I assume Jordan Love's going to take over. But they all played pretty well, and like Juan was saying, they all had their things that they need to work on. Just watching it, I'm not a quarterback evaluator or quarterback whisperer whatsoever, but I would think watching football long enough, I can, you see like what's good, the good attributes with the quarterback and things, and what's bad attributes. But they all played pretty well, and like Juan said, the future's bright for the NFL with these young quarterbacks. It's just a matter of continuing their development what I liked, I mean, Trey Lance is just like that guy's just a freak of nature, just like launching the ball, his speed.
Wasn't it an 80-yard pass from
It
Trey Lance?
wasn't
I believe it
actually
was.
80 yards, but it went 80 yards. I don't know how far he actually passed it.
It went 60 yards.
Was it 60? Okay, sorry. I was very inebriated at the White Sox game when when all was going down. So anyway, keep going, White. I'm sorry.
Then Kellen Mond, there was some Vikings people on Twitter before the preseason, like in July, were saying that Kellen Mond will be better than Justin Fields, and then Kellen Mond didn't particularly play well. But he had three practices before before he even played. I think he can be good. I mean, you can't really write people off. I just thought it was funny that somebody said Kellen Mond will be better than Justin Fields. But it's just interesting because I kind of want to see the quarterbacks that were drafted before Justin Field, and see like Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback drafted, what was he, 11th or 12th? Deshaun Watson panned out in that draft, but it was crazy. Like nobody knew how Patrick Mahomes was just going to be, the best quarterback in the league right now. But what I liked as a Bear fan watching the last couple of years, I'll just go back to Jay Cutler. I'll go back to Mitch Trubisky because those are the two main ones that you would see as quarterback one. But what you would see with them is that they, like even with Jay Cutler, he would get flustered or he would try to rush a throw and he'd throw an interception, especially like if he felt pressure. And then he tried to, get outside the pocket. Same thing with Mitch, like he would get like he wasn't calm. Like even when he had a guy wide open or a deep pass, he would overthrow them or underthrow them. What I saw from Justin Fields is completely opposite. Like and everyone's like, well, it's preseason. Yeah, it's preseason, but what do you see from him? He was out there. He was calm, collective. He was poised in the pocket, even outside the pocket. He could have took off and run most of the time, but he didn't. He was poised, confident, threw to the wide open receiver, or waited till the guy got wide open and threw it to them. So that's what I like to see. You have to be calm, collective, and poised. You see that with Aaron Rodgers. You see that with Patrick Mahomes. You see that with these great quarterbacks is they're calm and collective under pressure. And that's what you want to see from your quarterback, because when, the games are highs and lows all the time. And if you have a quarterback that's even keel and he knows he can go out there and deliver in the big game, that's what you want to see. And so that's what I'm happy about with Justin Fields. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. The dude has four blazing speed, but is he calm, collective, in the pocket, out of the pocket to make those big plays? And that's what I'm happy about. And that's what I'm happy about seeing is like, we've never had that. So yeah, I'm all in already, guys. I'm ready to get hurt again. Okay. Just give me a quarterback.
Don't say that, because now what's going to happen?
It's not. I mean, I'm all in. Like this is the quarterback I wanted the Bears to draft. They got him amazingly in the 11th round, and I'm ready to get hurt again, Julius. If he's not good, I'm still going to get hurt.
I'm a Lions fan. All I know is hurt.
Well, Julius is still hurt from Friday. I mean, come on, guys.
But the future's bright for the NFL with all these young quarterbacks. And then the Lions might draft a young quarterback next year, and we control Julius. 4
first-round picks in the next 2 years.
Oh, God.
If Jared Goff doesn't prove himself, guess what? I hope the Rams suck. We might have 2 top 5 picks.
Jared Goff is the most overrated quarterback in the entire league. I have been saying that for years now since he was on the Rams.
He's been throwing a pretty ball in the preseason, though. I mean, in training camp, he has accuracy. His pocket presence. Like I said, he didn't step up into the pocket on that sack by Penei Sewell. Type of stuff.
How are his legs? How quick is he? I
mean, he's nimble enough. He's not any less nimble than Matthew Stafford. It's just that he gets flustered quickly in the pocket.
Yeah.
He gets scared and he might make a mistake, or he might take too many sacks. This is and we saw a little bit of that in the preseason game. But when he has time and he's not scared, he can throw a pretty ball.
Guess Jared Goff's 40 time. I want you guys to try to guess because I looked it up.
4.6.
5.2. 5.2. No,
really?
Yeah,
okay.
5.2.
I think 4.6 is pushing it. Aaron Rodgers runs a 4.7. He runs a 4.8.
Okay, I was a bit
Okay.
behind.
4.82.
So we were in the ballpark. I mean, I was probably a few.
He's
4.6 is a
not
little
slow.
fast. No.
He's not slow.
What was Justin Fields?
4.4.
4.4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
4.43,
probably
I
he said
think.
he could have ran a 4.3. He stumbled the 2 times he ran.
Justin Fields, I will tell you right now, Justin Fields, and watching him on Saturday, the man can run.
He has a long stride like Cam
his
Newton.
His footwork is top notch. And I'm trying to not sound like a huge homer right now, and trying not to sip on this overhyped Kool-Aid, because I don't want to do that. I've never been about that.
I'm all in.
Well, you have. I haven't. I have always
All
said. I have always said we have to wait to see how he pans out, because that is the honest and sincere thing. We, as fans, we have to do that, right? Because it's one thing to be realistic. It's another thing to be delusional. So he is quick. He is fast. His mental capability in the pocket there. Shout out to Wyatt's son, who will also be a Bears fan, not a Poverty Lions fan. His mental capabilities in the pocket behind a somewhat horrible, bad offensive line is good. It is very good.
That's what y'all got to worry about.
So right now, my
offensive line holding up.
Yes, my concern at this very moment, after the first week of preseason, is the O-line. Will they hold up? Will they take the challenge of protecting this quarterback during the regular season? Now, we've got the Buffalo Bills coming into town on Saturday. We will get to see Mitch Trubisky once again. I'm very curious to see what kind of reception or how receptive the fans are to Mitch when he comes in as quarterback for the Bills.
I would cheer him. I wouldn't boo him.
Well, we don't. Well, we know how Bears fans are ruthless, Wyatt. You and I know that. We will see. We will.
He did the best he could with what he had. I mean,
he did.
It's not like he was lazy or anything.
No, he wasn't. He had good. His mentals were in the right place. It was just a matter of just getting a bad hand dealt, and that is kind of what we got stuck with. So, Adam says, I got a feeling they'll boo him, especially after his comments. I could see that now. I think that's something you know what, we did not really take into consideration, why were those comments that he made at that presser out in New York.
They were taken out of context, because if you watch the whole interview, they just took that blurb and I felt like it was taken out of context, because after I watched it, I was like, he's not saying what was taken out of context.
Yeah. Well, you know how the media works and how people receive things that the media says. So I don't know. Obviously not everyone is that realistic about it. So on point discussion for tonight, guys. Official time right now is let's see, we went 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 29 seconds. Wyatt at the Cornelius 7, Julius at the 5th top, yours truly at Lounge Room Pres 1. Remember to follow the network at Lounge Room Net. Follow the page at Talks on Point. Gentlemen, what an excellent show. Julius, thank you again so much for sharing all of your
Megatron.
Okay. See, I was going to end the show on a good note, and I can't do that now because you're rooting for the Lions. So
Lions!
Another baby has been brought in.
Yes, go Lions!
Oh,
See that baby right there? He's a
What's
Bears
that, Grayson?
fan.
What's that? Justin Fields going to be the Hall of Fame quarterback, lead the Bears to 3 Super Bowls?
Say you're gonna be sad, Grayson. You're gonna be sad.
Both of your kids one day are going to troll each other just as much as we all as Jesus Christ.
Future podcasters.
Yeah, future podcaster. My cats aren't here, so I unfortunately can't put them up here with their little baby. My cat has a little.
You got. Oh no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
the show
I do.
right now. Wow,
Yeah,
in the show.
I do. I'm gonna send the picture now. I'm gonna say, you know what? I have a picture. I'll send it in our group chat later tonight. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Julius. For real, thank you for sharing your insight, man. I truly appreciate you, and we love you here, and we're not gonna let any Bears fans bully you off of Twitter.
Thanks for having my back, yes, man. I appreciate you
absolutely.
guys.
Absolutely. For those of you who will be listening on audio version, I am so sorry that you're going to have to hear
Then go
You're gonna have to
Lions.
hear about 10 minutes of hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Julius the fourth.
Another Bears fan.
Yeah, another Bears fan.
Say go Lions, buddy. He's not gonna say it.
No.
Go Bears!
Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe, and as always, as is customary on the show, to end, go Bears.
Go Lions.
Go Bears!
Oh my god.